90% of the world are idiots. Half of them are morons. We are the 10%. This, excuse me, this is a podcast of one, and I'm your host, Spario. I had a voice crack when I said one of those words. Don't remember which one. I don't really care. I just realized I have a bunch of mini points here, so we're gonna do the mini points first. But one of them is probably easier to address at the very beginning rather than in the middle, so I'm gonna address it now. I bought a Uncle Dane T-shirt. It's the Uncle Effect T-shirt, and you can't really see that well because some of it is because his beard is all white, and so to see with the contrast. But you can look it up online. It's Uncle Dane's. Just search Uncle Dane T-shirts. He's a popular TF2 YouTuber and streamer. He's very funny. He made a couple parody albums based on TF2, I believe. I think a couple songs. I think was just listening to his one. Nope, it's hilarious. It's a good song, honestly. So yeah, Uncle Dane's a cool guy. He's some cool shirts. I bought this one because I think it's really a funny little shirt. It's a little simplistic. It's just his engineer loadout. His character in when he plays TF2, doing the Eureka effect taunt or teleport, and that's it. All right, so three more topics. Yeah, I can count. Okay, so I'm gonna end with the last one, the best one. Okay, so first, I got gold playing cards, but they're not. They're most likely. I'm like gonna bet that they're not gold because I paid $4 for them. So I doubt that you'd pay $4 and get a deck of 24 karat gold foil playing cards. But they're not bad. They shuffle really nicely. The backs of them peel so easily, so I'm shuffling them face up, so I don't have to worry about the back being destroyed. Because on half the cards, like the back is all peeled off and destroyed. Anyway, and then I did talk about this on stream when I first got this screen because it's amazing. But I got a new screen. It's 1080p, and it looks beautiful. It's a very clear and crystal clear, fucking great screen. It's the Asus. I should have looked this up before the stream, but it's an Asus. Or an Asus. Yeah, Asus. How do you say it? Orders. It's an Asus FreeSync gaming monitor. Doesn't really have a big name on it, but yeah, it's one of their cheaper ones. And I think it's actually a fantastic screen. It looks really good. And I went to the final mini point for this week. This was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but I wore the Eric Andre shirt to work. Not on purpose, mind you. Completely by accident. Okay. So you all know I have this ridiculous shirt that is entirely Eric Andre. The whole shirt is a picture of him. So everywhere in the shirt you look, it's the same picture. It's one big. It's like blown up. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I wear it a couple times on stream. I'll wear it. I'll keep wearing it because it's fucking hilarious. Anyway, it's a great shirt. So I was wearing it one day, and it's time to go to work, like always. I forgot to change into my work shirt, so I kept that shirt on. And by the time I got to work, well, after I left, I went to lunch, and when I was at lunch, I just looked at it, I'm like, what the? Oh no, Eric Andre is my shirt, and then I was very concerned because I knew I was gonna get like reprimanded or something. So I zipped up my jacket real tight, so it was like this. You could barely see that it was a ridiculous shirt. And I got to work, and the first thing my boss said to me is, "Where's your work shirt?" I said, I left it at home. I didn't change into it. I'm sorry. I forgot I was rushing, and I got a whole speech. But hey, that's what it is. You forget your work shirt. They got to give you a speech. It's protocol. I don't know, whatever. So I'm gonna move a topic around real quick. Um, Hold on a second. The last episode's gonna be a long topic. Also, this. I will get into that. This is third mini more. But yeah. So I showed my friend. He thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, because I have a friend at work, so I was showing him the shirt, and he's like, "Why are you wearing that ridiculous shirt?" And I said, "I forgot to take it off." And then he lent me his apron, so at least I had something to wear that was branded by the store. So that's at least I had that. So my boss didn't like. Oh, I mean, he wouldn't have fired me. He said just don't do it again, So didn't do it again, and there we are. I could have done it again with his Uncle Dane shirt by accident, but I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Obviously, I could have made the same mistake, but I didn't. And I learned. It wouldn't be as noticeable with this because, well, it kind of would because the lightning effect is like almost to the top of the shirt, which is where it would be showing. So Maybe they think it's like something on my shirt. Probably not. They probably like, are you wearing a different shirt again? You guys, no, don't. Get out of here. Anyway, all right. So the last mini point, I'm gonna amend this to the end. Uh, XSplit was really tricky to get working today. I just clicked on the icon like I always do. I have an icon, a honeycomb icon on my desk, which is it's like a rain. There's this program called Rainmeter, and you could have plugins, and it'll allow you to put interactive things on your desktop, like CPU, checkup stuff, and like hard drive space. Sorry, my allergies are killing me. One of them is called Honeycomb, and it launches applications, and they stay fixated on the screen whenever you, so that anytime your screen resolution changes, you change back to that previous version, and you'll have it exactly where it was. Because desktop icons scatter all over the place, especially when you play games, so it's a mess. I have a few on here that are like, because I'm too lazy to turn them into honeycombs, but I'll do it eventually. Because most of these programs are very obscure, so I have to make make the icon myself. And it's like a simplest icon. I sidetracked. Anyway, so I click on it like normal, but XSplit didn't open it. It gave me the prompt. You click yes or no if it wants to make changes, but it just never launched. It took me like 10 or 20 minutes to figure it out. So I had to reinstall XSplit, which is why this is well, there's no time. I'm uploading this same time, I guess, but it took forever to get this fucking podcast started. It's besides the point. Anyway, so games I'm enjoying this week: Team Fortress 2. And I got a new game, which I'm going to talk about right now. So I bought Civ 5 today. I'll tell you a little story about that. So my friend Greg, he comes over every weekend, as you know. And he was playing it on his computer. He got here and he started playing it. I'm like, oh, what's that game? He's like, oh, Civ 5. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And he was like, he was doing good, and he was playing, and he was having fun. So today, I woke up and he was like still fucking playing it or something. No, was he still playing? Yeah, he was still playing it. He's still playing it now, probably, because it takes a long time to go through a Civ 5 game. So I was like, I wonder how much it is right now, because I know there's a Steam sale going on. So I go on Steam, and it's... Now, let me just preface this. This game is normally $150 for all the DLC, because it's a lot of content. It really is. There's, like, an endless amount of content in that game. So $150 is, like, justified, in my opinion. I got it for $20, though. Steam is amazing. So that's fun. I haven't been able to play it. I'm going to play it after I do this podcast. I'm going to upload the podcast and then start playing it a little bit. Or maybe not exactly that order. I might not go straight to playing it. I might do other things, but maybe I might stream. I kind of want to stream TF2. I kind of don't. Well, I mean, it's not a real reason, because most of the time when I stream, I just talk about stuff that we talk about in the podcast. Yeah, but it's a fun game. I did the tutorial. I like it. We're gonna do a stream next week of it, possibly, where we're gonna do multiplayer, me and Greg, and possibly other people. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, TF2. What happened in TF2 recently, though, was I encountered a cheating pyro. What happened was he was aimbotting his pyro, and we just told him, like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, he was on the enemy team, and we said, why are you cheating his pyro? That is like the saddest thing ever. And he was just like, I'm not cheating. I'm just really good. Meanwhile, he's walking out of spawn like this, faster though, because I don't want to break my wrist or hurt my wrist. I was opening a box of fucking apple cider, and my wrist just was like, like it like pulled and like fucked up my wrist. It hurt, but it's not like that now. But I'm nervous about it. The fucking apple cider is glued together with the most strong glue I've ever heard of. It's like fucking intense to open a box of that shit. Anyway, yeah. So TF2, that guy was fucking just he was like defending himself and all that shit. Like, he was snapping the spies and killing them, and it was terrible. I was like, why would you cheat his pyro? You're already cheating by playing pyro pretty much. You don't have to think. How are you that bad that you have to cheat at pyro? That's just insane. If you cheat at pyro, you are literally worse at the game than anyone else. You cannot be good at. You can't even. How do you not be able to play pyro? A fucking hamster could play pyro and probably get at least 3 kills. Like, legitimately. Anyway, the other story I have is actually pretty funny. Okay, so I was playing TF2. I'm in a group call with a couple friends. We were having a good time, and I'm just I'm playing the game. And in the match of TF2, there's two people yelling at each other in Spanish. So I was like, guys, there's someone yelling in Spanish in TF2 right now, and they're like, well, you gotta. I'm not exactly sure, but this is what I believe happened pretty much for the most part. It's like a rough estimation of what happened. Um, so they were like, "Oh, you should curse to them back." I'm like, you know what? What if I like came back at them like in Japanese or something? Because I knew one of the people I was talking to, she speaks Japanese. So I said, "Do you know what I could say in Japanese?" And she just tells me what to say. She says, "Say damare bakara," which means shut up. I guess if you yell it enough, it could technically mean shut the fuck up, depending on cultural stuff. But it means shut up. So, according to what she said, I'm hoping it means shut up and not something worse. Probably doesn't, because she's honest. I would trust the opinion of a good friend. So anyway, I yelled at these people in Japanese, and it was fucking hilarious to me and my friends. They didn't even care because they didn't even understand it, but you know, it was a good meme. I think maybe someone in the match was like, "I get it. I think I got this joke." He's yelling at them in a different language, and they're yelling at each. It's fucking. It was just stupid. It was a good match though. We were what the fuck was the map? The one with the outside map that's nighttime and it has the bridge this really cool bridge of like dirt. What the hell is it? I don't know what the map's called, but it's a good map. Uh, and then it goes inside in like a power plant kind of area and the point's on a bridge, and then it's centered, and then there's like a pit next to it. So it's like a reverse island, I think, or what do they call it? The peninsula, I think it is. I think it's like the point is like a peninsula, but it's not because there's no water and it's made of metal. But that's not the point. That is the point. It was cheesy as fuck. Yeah, what else happened in TF2 recently? I got that kill again where I swing the half Satoshi over my head. Look up and click with the half Satoshi. And someone was market gardening me, and I just was like, not today. It's fucking great. It's my new move. I love doing that. The only thing is I don't use a half Satoshi enough a lot because the escape plan is much better. I guess I could do it with the escape plan and hope I get a crit, but you know, it works more effectively with the half Satoshi. Anything else in TF2? No, but I did have an idea that I've always wanted to do ever since I started playing Payday 2. Ever since I heard of Payday 2 or whatever, I played it a little bit. I want to make a short film, like a parody of Ocean's 11, but instead of them going to rob a bank, they're going to play Payday 2. So, for example, like it could be me and Greg, and we're like looking for two other players to play the game, and then at the end of the movie, it's just a let's play or something like that. I think that'd be a really funny short. I think it'd be a good. I think it'd be like if we parody the movie and do all the like scene like parody some of the most famous scenes. Can't remember what the famous scenes are in that movie. Besides obviously the heist. The heist is pretty cool. I don't even remember that. I have watched that movie in years, man. Anyway, that's roughly rated the game. So yeah, I thought of that idea. It's a good thing because we're talking about Den of Thieves, which is a movie that came out recently that I want to see, and yeah. Okay, next topic requires the action figure itself to be placed into the camera. Ta-da! Eh, is that correct? I'm trying to line it up with her nose properly. But yes, if you don't know who this anime character is, it's Mako Maknachoku from Kill la Kill, and she is so cute. She's my waifu, and she's super cute. Waifu. I'm gonna put it in frame. So I'm not gonna change any poses for her right now, cause she's sleeping. No, because I don't. That would be a waste of time on the stream. I'm supposed to be talking, not stream, but video. I don't want to just have a whole video of me just sitting there posing a figure. So I'll talk about it. It's a very good figure. It's a Nendoroid, which means it's like kind of a chibi style, and it can get a good range of poses. And one of her arm parts, or two of them actually, are bendable, like kind of like stretchy, kind of bendable. Like they have a wire in it, and that's kind of cool. And she comes with a couple other faces I'll show off right now. There's this one, which is really cute. And there's this like kind of angry-ish or happy-ish face, like, and then there's just the default happy face. She also comes with her pet dog and like a bowl, like a little dish with pastry on it. I forgot what it's called in the show. It's like this thing in the show where I haven't watched the show in a while, but Um, it's like a food that she always eats and or something like that. I believe something related to her character, obviously. But yeah, and then there's different leg poses and stuff, and yeah, and then there's this kind of like bubble thing that you see in anime when characters are sleeping. It's a very cute figure. It's an awesome figure. I'm really happy with it so far. But yeah, on to our next topic, I guess. The Lies of Kings. Oh boy, do I have a story for you guys. Okay, so what is this about? Okay, so I'm not sure if anyone watching this podcast has heard of the two kings of video games, the king of video games and the king of Kong. Both of them, the king of Kong being Billy Mitchell and the king of video games being Todd Rogers. They are both apparently, according to all the evidence that I've seen, I agree with the evidence, it's irrefutable, they're both cheaters. They cheated to get their titles as kings. And I am very upset about this. On a level, it's fucking insane. So when I was a kid, right? When you're a kid and you're growing up playing video games, you hear about these stories of these guys who have these two people, these two guys, Todd and Billy. They have these high scores, and you're like, wow, that's some pretty good high scores, man. That's awesome. And you think, wow, that's how games used to be in the 80s and the 60s or whatever the fuck this happened. But you're like, oh my god, like I looked up these people, like I wish I could be as good as these gamers. These guys are cool. I like it was like an inspirational kind of people. Years later, when I grow up, they're fucking. It turns out they've been exposed for cheating, and I'm just like, it's like I'm a grown up now. All the fucking two of my childhood heroes are just fucking cheaters. God damn, fucking humanity sucks, man. They both cheated. It's just it's the jury is still out on Billy Mitchell, but it looks like he's used a MAME emulator, and he lied about it multiple times. Uh, the footage is very similar to how MAME loads the game, and Apollo Legend made a great video on both of them. Actually, a couple of videos on Todd and one video on Billy. So I'd recommend those videos. I might link. I'm gonna link his channel in the description because there's a bunch of videos on the whole cheating. He has some excellent work on like speedrunning and like score holding and record holding and stuff. I subscribed to him mostly when the Todd Rogers thing came down, which is about a month ago. So he released a video and it was in my recommended, and I watched it. And I'm like, I'm subscribing to this guy in case anyone else fucking cheats, and then fucking Billy Mitchell cheats, and I'm like, why? How do you can't just be legitimate? I mean, obviously not. He wouldn't be the guy to be the high score guy because he wouldn't be legitimate, but it's just ridiculous. I'm like, why would you do that? I'm so upset about it. I mean, it's like this is lies. I've been lied to for like 9 years, probably not 8 or 9 years if you think about it. Because probably started playing video games when I was like, I've probably been playing video games since I was 7. Probably heard about them like when I was 10. So 9 years. Let's just say almost a decade. I've been lied to. I've been lied to for a decade now, and now it's like what the shit, man. Like I can't believe that. I'm so upset about this. Like I feel like I've been cheated. Literally, I have been cheated. You're not cheating the game. You're not cheating yourself. You're cheating me, the individual fan who's no longer a fan because you're cheaters. Why? Just it's like why, man? That's not legitimately like I was gonna cry there. No. As much as like, in the end, it really doesn't matter because it's just a video game, but it makes us all look bad, right? Because now anytime someone like here's like if this gets in the news that like and people know about this or people find out, um, like if the mass media covers this, which they probably won't because they don't give a shit. But if people found out about this, like average everyday people who don't play video games, they're gonna be like, oh, video gamers they just cheat all the time, don't they? Don't they just cheat? That's what idiots are gonna think now. And also another thing is, uh, next time uh, next time someone mentions either of those guys and tells me like, hey, you're a gamer, you know about these guys? It's pretty cool, right? I hear they got really good high scores. I'm like, yeah, it's easy to get a high score when you cheat. They'll be like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they're cheaters. The whole community ousted them. There's a big thing in the community. We all came together. We all looked at the evidence. We all said fucking cheaters. So yeah, it's like, why does people cheat at video games? Why do you cheat at a video game? It's a game. It's fucking playing time. It's like, why? It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. Why would you cheat? Maybe that. I mean, all right. If you're getting more enjoyment out of it being fun, or you're getting more fun value when you cheat because you're winning, okay, that's fine. As long as you're not destroying that for other people. If you're competing, whether it be a single player game and who gets the high score, who finishes fastest, or you're fighting other players, like mid match, like TF2 or Smash Bros, and you're cheating, you're terrible. You are a bad person. Not like the worst person. I mean, there are worse things because on the end it's just a video game. But you're not a good guy. You're just not. You're not. You're not. Why? There's no fun in cheating anyway. I mean, the only games I'd say that's fun is cheating like sandbox, like Grand Theft Auto. Who the fuck plays the single player, and just goes through and does it. It's fun to like spawn in cool things like tanks. That's fun. That's like sandbox cheating. Sandbox cheating is fun. And maybe like when you're a kid and you're playing like Pokemon, you get a cool like level 100 Arceus that's shiny, and you're like, oh wow, look at this, it's so cool, and that's all right when you're a kid. But like cheating is just, why would you do that? It ruins the entertainment value for most cases. I think it makes it too easy, and it takes away the challenge. So not only that, I think obviously these guys cheated not because they don't want to have fun; they just want to win. That's ridiculous, though. Since how long, man, have they been cheating? I don't know what the time is, but it's just cheating is. Done about this. Forget about it. Other entertainment I'm enjoying this week. I was gonna watch Kill la Kill again because I never actually finished it. I finished 90% of it, and I never finished the last two episodes because the dub wasn't on it, and then by the time it was, I forgot about it, and then it's been years. Been came out in 2013. Came out 2013. 14, 15, 16, 17. 5 years. I waited 5 years to watch two episodes. I'm gonna rewatch the whole thing, so tried to get Greg to watch it, but he's upset about the meat tank episode. In I think it's episode 15 or 14. It's the one with the line that I used for the description of my rocket launcher, which is named after Mako. It's the one where the guy's like, this rich guy is the enemy of that episode, and he's like has like money guns and shit. I believe it's the same episode. There's a meat tank, and there's a tank where the armor is made of meat, and I think it's a funny little gag, but Greg's just like, no, meat tank. No, it's like PTSD for him. It's like he's like very upset about it, and it's kind of funny. I mean, the thing is funny, but yeah, it's just whatever. But yeah, he'll never watch Kill la Kill because one episode has a meat tank in it. It's a great anime. It's a good anime. Another good anime is fucking Space Dandy. That is hilarious. I finished that one, and the ending is the coolest and most trippiest joke of all time, and if you have not seen Space Dandy, watch the dub. It's like amazing. Well, I mean, you watch whatever one you want, but I prefer the dub because I don't like reading subtitles. If I could watch it dubbed, and the dub is good, I'll watch it dubbed. That's a good anime. One Punch Man is good too. It's kind of encroaching into the next topic a little bit, but not in the way I was expecting it to go. Yeah. So what other anime is there? It's Cowboy Bebop, which I haven't started yet. I heard that's really good. By the same guy who made Space Dandy. Space Dandy is like a parody of fucking that a little bit. I'm sorry, I gotta. Wait, just hold on a second here. Time to take drastic measures for drastic memes. What else did I actually watch this week? Well, I watched a bunch of old TF2 videos. I watched like Mizo's Eat Explode video again. It was pretty funny. It was funny because he didn't actually explode that often. But yeah, what other videos did I watch? I don't know. I watched a couple YouTube videos and shit. So what else is there to talk about in this segment? Wasn't there another anime I watched that was really funny or really good? Oh, Punchline. punchline is one of the wackiest and most touching anime stories of all time. It's about a guy who gets his superpower from looking at panties, like underwear, girls' underwear. And if he sees it once, he gets powerful, and if he sees it a second time, the world ends. Doesn't make any sense in the beginning, but then by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, what okay, that, calculate that, that's fucked up. It's great, it's awesome, and it has a good dub as well, I think. I believe it has a really good dub. I can't remember if I watched it subbed, though. I might not even have a dub, but I thought it had a really good dub. I think it has a dub. It has a dub. I think it has a dub. What the fuck? Videos. I thought it had a dub. I'm pretty sure it did. I can't tell. I don't want to play a clip of it, but I thought it had a dub. What other anime is there that I watched before? Watch more anime. There was another funny anime I'd recommend. Let's forget about recommending anime. This is really on topic. Alright, so, what is the last topic for today? I should have went over the topics first, but the last topic for today, the last interchanging topic, is a discussion about otaku culture. A little bit. It's the nice way of putting it. Okay, so as I said when I was talking about TF2, I yelled at fucking two people speaking Spanish or something. I'm not sure if it was exactly Spanish. It might have been another language. It doesn't actually matter the point of the story. The point of the story is that it was a foreign language, which I did not comprehend. That's fine. I don't really care. I still just funny to yell at them in Japanese. So after that, I was like, "That's funny. I want to learn." I said like, "Oh man, you know, I was in high school. I tried to learn Japanese," and the person that told me what to say said, "I could teach you Japanese." I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." So I'm like, you know what? I'm a weeaboo enough. I'll do it. But that's where this discussion comes in. Okay, so I think the fine line between being a weeaboo and being an otaku who's really into the culture is an otaku understands that he'll never be Japanese, but a weeaboo thinks he can become Japanese. That is the line in the sand, at least in my opinion. A weeaboo is someone who thinks that they are culturally Japanese, which is not true in the slightest. You're not. You can't, unless you lived there, you're not, unless you actually lived there for a majority of your life, you're just, that's not how science works. Just saying, but, you know, if that's what you want to believe, go fucking ahead. I don't give a shit. Be a weeaboo. But an otaku, that's fine. That makes I am an otaku. That's what I call myself. That is my label. Now, I am full force into it. Well, I guess 90% because I don't own any waifu pillows. I did think about that for a bit, but I didn't do it. I don't have. I can't see it. I have a body pillow, but it doesn't have any pictures on it. It's just a plain white body pillow with the logo of the bamboo pillow. It's a bamboo pillow. It's really nice. I did kind of want one, but they're all lewd, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't want to cuddle up next to a fucking pornographic image. It's just weird. I don't care. I just wanted a picture of the character I'm interested in. I thought it was a collector thing. And I'm like, oh, well, this isn't collectors. This is just perverted. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck this shit. I'm out. Anyway, I have figures. I know exactly one of my figures is not a Japanese figure. Two of them are Marvel characters, but they're Japanese figures. This one's Mako's a Japanese figure, obviously she's from an anime. My Link Nendoroid is obviously from Japanese games. The Legend of Zelda's Japanese. I have two bootleg Body-chan and Body-kun. Well, one bootleg Body-chan and one bootleg Body-kun figures. Those are Japanese. Those are like what the fuck? Bandai, I think, made them. The only figure I have that's from an American company is the Soldier, and it's terrible. It's just terrible. I can't even pose it in the fucking poses I want to pose it in. I can't do the Soldier's Requiem. The Nendoroid can do the Soldier's Requiem taunt, but a full-fledged figure can't. This character, well, it's a little easier for an Nendoroid, though, because the knees are bent specifically to that shape. So it's a little cheating. But a Nendoroid can kneel down on both knees. He could even do a superhero landing, I believe. No, I think Deadpool can do the superhero landing, which is Deadpool's figure. That Deadpool figure right there, right? Oh, this is hard to do. Right there, he's the most posable figure I own, and it is fantastic. Deadpool's figure is like there's getting better, but I don't think there is one that's affordable enough that's better. That guy was like $60, Deadpool, so that's the price range I usually operate in. So that's pretty impressive for $60. I think maybe it was 80. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I have all these different figures. I have figures. I watch anime. That's what an otaku is, right? But for me, it's a little bit more. I actually do want to learn Japanese because I feel like as an otaku, there's a lot of media that I'm missing out on. Like video games, you can't read a sub. You can't just do a subbed video game. Like there's no video. Like some video games don't have subs. A lot of them actually don't. Like Monster Hunter XX on the Switch is entirely in Japanese. It never came out in America. Even if they did do that, they would sub it. If they subbed it, I'd be playing it. But the menus aren't in English. Nothing is in English in that game. Well, maybe some of the very slight things. But so if I wanted to play that game, I'd have to learn Japanese. And Ace Attorney, Daigaki Densaibon, and Daigaki Densaibon 2 are both only in Japanese. There's a fan translation of 1, but not 2, and it's only episode 1, and it's complicated to get it working. A lot of the jokes are missed in that game anyway. I think in the translation, I think a lot of them could be missed because it takes place in the period of Japan history, so or Japanese history. Another thing though, honestly though, imagine watching an anime. You could watch any anime you want, and you would not have to read subtitles. How is that not a benefit? How does that make? It's just because I want to be, I want to watch the animation. Oh no, I can't. I have to read the subtitles. I'll do it. Fine, but not gonna be easier. But if you actually know how to like fluently speak Japanese and learn how to understand it, then I could watch an anime and not have to look at the subtitle. I could turn them off, and I could just enjoy it, and I'll just be like watching it instead of having to read it. You know. I think it's just a cool way to experience other cultures as well. And my argument I always say whenever someone says you're a weeboo for learning Japanese is, well, what if I was to learn German, Spanish, Italian, any other language? French, fucking, I don't know, any other language. Klingon. Klingon is probably more accepted as a language that people who aren't that ethnicity or know that language know. Klingon... There's no real Klingons, but, you know, people would probably go, you're just a little bit strange if you learned Klingon. You learn Japanese and you're an American or someone from Britain or anywhere else in the world besides Japan. You're a weeboo. You're terrible. You're annoying. You're weird and creepy. And it's like, why though? I'm pretty sure if I was to learn Klingon, everyone would be like, that's kind of interesting. That's an interesting character trait. I like that. That's cool. Cool fact. Oh, I learned Japanese. You're a weirdo. You're weird. You're weeaboo. Weird. It sounds like an insult, and it is. A lot of people use it as an insult. And like people go like, you shouldn't do that because it's you're a weeb. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you want to learn a language, why can't you learn a language? This doesn't make any sense. Like, if I were to learn any other language, that's impressive. It's still impressive, I guess, but it's impressive in like, wow, that's impressive. You've really went into weeboo-ness. It's like, I think, like, if you don't learn it fully and you're just like terrible at it, maybe you could be considered a weeboo. But if like you really put your time into it and be as fluent as you can, then that's just a cool skill, and I think that's what that is. I tried plenty of times, but I always find out that it's hard to learn it from a book because a lot of it is like speech patterns and stuff. So now that someone offered to teach me, I'm like, that's cool. I didn't want to like hire someone to do it because I didn't want it that bad, but a friend said they'll teach me, so I'll learn from a friend. I think that's if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I don't care. Not a big deal, but I think it would be a cool skill to have, being able to communicate with people that are not speaking English. But it's not going to be as useful because not that many people know that language that's coming to here. I don't think it's not a usefulness in the real world, but it's useful that I could watch an anime or play a game that doesn't have a sub or something. I don't know. But yeah, don't call me a weeaboo. I'll get mad at you. Moral of the story: Spario does not like being called a weeaboo. Breathe. Okay. But yeah, I guess that could be considered a project I'm working on as well. By the way, because I haven't started it though. I'm waiting on stuff. Yeah, Discord is closed. I just realized Discord is not open. Also, is my phone. Did I get anything? No. I'm waiting for paperwork. Okay. I have to get paperwork apparently. I don't know why it's called paperwork, but I think it's just a worksheet. I don't know what it would be called. But I was told, all right, I'll give you some paperwork. I'm like, okay, paperwork? So, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I think it's going to be interesting to learn another language. But, yeah, but I think that a lot of people stereotype otakus for being weird or, like, different, and it's just, like, stupid. Like, why can't I just enjoy what I enjoy, man? Like, what if people started doing that for other things? Like, oh, you play TF2? You suck for... That's a terrible game. I mean, I know some people do, but, like, generally a lot of people dislike otakus and call them weeaboos. It makes zero sense to me. Like, what? Where did it start? I guess it's just a meme at this point, but... whatever. I'll be called a weeaboo for the rest of my life, and that's fine. I'm gonna accept it. I'm just gonna go. You know what? I'm a weeaboo. I'll be the weeaboo. I'll be the weebest motherfucker around. I'll be such a weeb that I won't be a weeb. That didn't make any sense, but it did. But it didn't. Yeah. So I feel like I'm just gonna do it. I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not gonna ignore everyone's criticisms. Not criticism, but ignore everyone's insults and not constructive criticism. That's negative, I guess. Negative criticism, whatever you want to call it, and just be like, man, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna be who I want to be. It's gonna be a good time. I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. And that's it. So yeah, I think there's a fine line between otaku and weeaboo, and it's knowing when and when not to be Japanese. I guess that wasn't what I was trying to go for. That didn't make any sense. It's knowing that what you can and can't become, and an otaku considers himself an otaku. A weeaboo considers himself Japanese, which is not. Which one is wrong and one is right? It's up to you to decide. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to projects I'm working on this week. So I worked on. I've been trying to work on my original comic idea, Cyrus and Saturn, and it's been going good. I've been going back to its roots a little bit and taking some of what I learned from changing it entirely to a new idea, pretty much, and combining it with other ideas I've had since then. So it's really taking form, and I think going to a different time in the characters' lives to when they were in college, which was what it was at. Now I'm going back to them being in high school. Because I think it just fits the story more. Because it's just easier for me. It's just I've never been to college, so I know what high school's like. So they've always been high school students. The characters of Cyrus and Saturn, both Cyrus and Saturn, have always been to high school with me. Well, when they started, their series. When by the end of it, they'll be graduating. But maybe they'll continue to do their adventures while they go to college. I don't know. It's gonna be a great comic one day, and I really hope that people like it because I really want to see it through. And now, last but not least, I'm working on Abstract Reviews episode 4. Finally, I decided not to cancel the episode that is going on, and I decided to do a short in between this episode and the next episode that deals with the character I don't like in the newest episode. There's a character in there, the villain of that episode. I don't like him. I think I thought he was funny at first, and then I kind of thought about it, and he's really not that funny. So I'm gonna stick with it for this episode. But in the next short, he's not gonna be the villain. He's gonna be the villain in the next short, and then after that, we're gonna bring Trollo back, because I think his character's more funny. Like the idea I had for the show was always this like cartoonish, like old school like Skeletor, Eggman from the old Sonic cartoon, like the original first one, the really crappy one, and all those types of like cartoon villains, like Bowser from the Mario Bros. Super Show, kind of like those kind of villains, like '80s cartoon villains. Because I always thought they were funny, and I think it's funny to bring that back in like a real life live action setting. Um, that's always what I wanted to do. It's just I just really like that idea. I didn't grow up in the '80s or anything. I just like that. I haven't really watched any '80s cartoons anyway. But I know of that trope, and I think it's a funny trope. I really like that character type. So as a villain, and I think it's still funny. But I'm gonna put my own spin on it, where like there might be an episode where he comes and he's like befriends Mario or whatever, and they work together on a thing. Like, I mean, that could happen in an '80s cartoon too, but like it's gonna be my own like a modern version of it, I think. And it's gonna take a lot of work and character reconstruction to do. But yeah, he's still gonna be. I don't know if I revealed this. I didn't reveal it. No, not gonna reveal it if I did. Again, so it's what he becomes. He comes back. He did die. He is dead, but he will come back from the dead in a way that is very unique and, well, not unique. It's been done plenty of times before, but that's about it. So he's gonna come back. He's just gonna be Travis. Um, he's a cool last name though. Maybe just Travis Lawrence. So he'll be an interesting character, I think, to develop, and I'm glad he's back in my script. Also, the scene with Pineapple and this new villain though is it's actually pretty cool. Like, I started off, I was gonna write it as kind of a little jokingly, but as I was writing it, I wrote the scene this morning. I like putting some backstory on Pineapple. I hinted at some of Pineapple's backstory in his dialogue. Like, I had him say like, "You don't know what I've been through. I've been through this and this." Like, he vaguely mentions it, and like you learn his backstory is really tragic in this short. I don't want to spoil it because the short's going to come out sooner than later, hopefully. So, I always think about his backstory, and I go, "Wow, I'm cruel to my characters," because it's just like if it happened to me, I'd be in the same boat of him. He goes crazy because of what happens to him, because of something that he lost, if you will. And if I was in Pineapple's shoes, I would become the same. I would act as much as the character as I would. I'd act like I'd become that kind of character. I think I could see myself taking the same route that the character would, but hopefully that never happens, because, well, we don't live in a fucking comic book universe. It's a comic book kind of loss, I guess. It's tragic. He's devastated by it, and he becomes like crazier because of it. And I have written the first episode, or the first issue of the comic for him, his backstory comic, and he has a line in there. He has some lines in there, like he's narrating how it happened and everything, and it's kind of interesting. I did have an idea though for the ending if I ever do a Pineapple video game, where the credits is a song that's ironic to, not ironic, but a song that would normally be happy, but it's sad because of the situations he's been in. I really want to do that. I think that would be a really emotional scene, like a man crying to a happy song because it was a song that reminds him of his loss. That's enough spoilers, or potential spoilers now. Hopefully I get this out soon, because I really like talking about, I really want to get this backstory piece out there so I could talk about it and what I think about it. Because it's as cruel, as fucked up as it is as a plot point, I think it's a really interesting plot point, and every time I think about it, I'm just like, man, I'm evil. I could be an evil motherfucker to my characters. I put my characters through hell, man, and some characters I do, some characters don't. But Pineapple is one of those characters that just his life is it was good until I came along and fucked it up. I guess not me, the character. Like I think Pineapple's a very interesting character for me. It's just he's always been like it's like a part of my character as a real person. I guess like he's like all the things I wish I could say in real life would be something he could say, like like I don't know like maybe your boss does something and you want to like tell him something like that would like you would never say it in real life, but I've always imagined like if I was Pineapple, I would say that shit right through that guy's face, and it's always funny like that. Like it's just an example. It doesn't have. It's not a realistic example, but like I don't know. Maybe like someone cuts you off in the traffic, and you think if I was and, like to me like Pineapple is the hypothetical if nothing bad if I couldn't get in trouble for that I would do that. But obviously I have like my brain goes that's not gonna happen. But if I was Pineapple, it would happen. And it's like it's not like a it's like the idea of it like glad I didn't do it. It would be a good story piece, I guess, for a character to do. Like more extreme though. Like a lot of like sitcoms are based around characters doing things that you wish you could do in real life. Like Seinfeld is basically about it says the whole slogan is just a show about nothing, but really what it is about the characters getting away with things that you wish you could get away with. Like like Jerry yelling at one of my favorite scenes is when Jerry is trying to get a rental car and he reserves the car that he wants and he gets there and they gave it away and he's like and he like goes in this whole rant about it to the person and it's hilarious because like you imagine you could like I could say that to that I would do the same thing but you wouldn't because you'd get in trouble it wouldn't work out the same way as the show so it's like a way like okay that's funny that'd be funny but for me Pineapple is like that but like more extreme I guess like I guess like edgier kind of like Deadpool I guess he's based on Deadpool but there's a good reason for it so it's just the good reason is that Deadpool's my favorite fictional character, and a lot of his work, a lot of the work of that character is influenced into my like brain. I guess I just think like I think like I wish I could do some Deadpool esque shit, like like break the fourth wall and shit. Like I think that'd be fun, but obviously I can't because I can't break the fourth wall. But and obviously you don't want to do anything crazy, so it's just better to like life is good. It's the preferred option of life is to not do the crazy shit, but it's like it's fun to think that would be it's fun to like think that you could do like what you would do if there was no consequences, I guess. So Pineapple is the in like the consequenceless version of me, I guess. If I wasn't able to if I didn't care about consequences or there was no consequences. Like a sandbox reality, I guess. That's a good term. Sandbox reality is the new term for Pineapple's like perspective on life. He doesn't give a fuck, and he'll do whatever he wants, even if it could probably get him in more trouble than it's worth. Like I'm trying to think of a good example. I had a good example the other day where like I thought of a pineapple thing to say. I was like, this would be a pineapple moment. Um, Maybe a pineapple moment could be like, okay, you hear a song in your store. Like I work at a supermarket, so they play songs, the crappy songs on the radio all the time. But sometimes they'll play like a really good song. I thought, what if they ever played "Careless Whisper"? I said, what if they? I said in my head, I was like joking around with myself, I guess. But I came up with a joke that if they played that song, I'd go into the back room where we store all our food, slide in like the suave pose, if you will, like where you're laying down, like I can't exemplify it, but when that like long like the pose in that Deadpool poster where he's lying on the carpet in front of the fire, that pose. I call it the sexy Bowser pose because I watched Nintendo Computer and he calls it that in the Runaway Guys videos, which is hilarious because there's a fucking Bowser does that pose in one of the Mario Party games and it's hilarious. So it's called the sexy Bowser pose in my opinion. I always imagined doing that. Like I said, if that ever happens, I'd do that. I obviously, and then I was like, well, obviously I was saying that jokingly, but what I say, I'd rather, like, if I was Pineapple, I would do this. So Pineapple would do that. And I think it'd be funny to have Pineapple do that in a short. Like he's in, like he just like there's a scene going on. That's the Pineapple clip I thought of. I remembered in it. But anyway, so the scene goes on, and Pineapple like comes in like that, and that's when the music starts. Or the music is started, and he comes in like that. So yeah. But the Pineapple scene I did come up with the other day, and this was the one I was thinking of a few minutes ago. There's a there's a so there's a gym next to my house, and sometimes people are using it, and there's also a bathroom in there. So sometimes I really have to go to the bathroom, and there's no other way to. That would be the only bathroom I can have access to, but there's people in there, so it kind of sucks. Usually I just go outside and go in a tree, but I always thought of like what would if I was to ever have like if I was like forced, there was no other way to do it. I really had to go. What would I do if I did that? Obviously, I'd just go in there like, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. But I thought of like, what if Pineapple was like, I was trying to think of a situation where Pineapple could have to go to the bathroom so bad that he has to burst into somewhere he's not supposed to be. So I thought, okay, has a job that he's doing that takes place on like in a hotel, and there's a party going on in the room, and the person who hired him is the owner of the hotel. He says, okay, Pineapple, you cannot go in this room no matter what happens. We don't want you to do any damage to the room. It's a very expensive room, so continue your fight outside the room. And then it's like, yes, of course, I would never go in a room that I'm not supposed to. And then like during the fight, he has to go to the bathroom so bad. He's like, hey, where's the closest bathroom? And then they say, oh, it's in there, but you can't go in there. Right, and then it cuts to the door. He kicks it down. And he's like, "Sup, bitches! I have to go to the bathroom so bad," and like he just straight up goes straight to the bathroom. He try like it's a crazy idea for a scene. What kind of line would he say? He'd be like, "Sup, bitches! I gotta take a piss," and then he just like goes to the bathroom. Maybe if it's a game about Pineapple, there could be like a weird, not a weird, but like a comedic, like a mini game, not a mini game, but like maybe he goes in there and it turns all 8-bit if it's like a 3D game, and he like, I don't know, something wacky could happen that like a mini game thing can happen. I think that'd be interesting. But I've rambled on for long enough. I do want to make a game in the style of Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, where there's a bunch of crazy bosses that are people. And but only it's more about gunplay and rather than swordplay. Swordplay sounds sexual. No, but like Metal Gear Rising Revenge is all about like melee weapons, but this would be more based on like cool firearm weapons, I guess, or projectile weapons. So I don't know how I'm gonna make the combat similar, but that's a topic for when I eventually go into Game Zone. I could also do a beat 'em up with Pineapple or something. I don't know. See, I want to make a Pineapple game really bad, but I'd have to get a team together to do that. So, all right, I think I'm going to end this podcast here. So if you like this podcast, go ahead and click that like button. If you disliked it, fuck you. No, click the dislike button. I don't give a shit. It's fine. It doesn't do anything. So go ahead. Just shows me how many people clicked the button. It literally does nothing. So go ahead. Subscribe if you like this and you want to see more. What's the other one I say? Comment. Yeah, you got to comment on the video. Otherwise, I'll find you and type a comment in your profile, and it'll be weird. No, I won't. But you could comment and tell me what you thought. Maybe what you thought about. I like to know what other people think about the lies of kings. I should have called that topic the King of Lies, because that's what the guy is. They're both the King of Lies. They're both the king of the same thing. So, tell me what you guys think about the King of Lies. I'm Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers. They're both liars, and I'm very upset. So tell me about that if you want to. What your impression of it? What do you think of this figure? What do you think of my Mako figure? Do you think she's super cute, or do you think I'm a fucking weeaboo? And yeah, about that, tell me if you think I'm a weeaboo. Yeah, that's about it for tonight. I'll see you guys next time for another podcast. If I have enough topics, of course. Which probably won't, for the very reason that my life is pretty boring right now. Because I literally have nothing to do but work and play TF2. And Civ 5, hopefully. But, yeah. Luckily I had enough topics this week, so. Alright. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. And if you want to check out my streams, you could also do that. link in description for my Twitch channel. It's Spario Ender Nerd. I play TF2 and sometimes other things. It's fun times. I'd recommend this stream, honestly, as if I wasn't me. Watch my streams, please.